Hello guys, good morning. So it
Good
feels
morning.
yeah, so it feels like a long time after the New Year vacation. Hope you are doing good, everyone. So I think we can start. 1 second. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the previous session, we gone through this binary log and this formats, everything, right? And this point in time recovery, all these things. So I thought to start with replication, but this is good to address the user management before we begin with the replication topic because we may create multiple users um, while go through the replication topic. So better let's. So this is the basic, right? Like a user creating the user, we should be hands on that before. Um we get into those topics. Okay. So I think we will have two sessions for this user management. So today one and tomorrow we will have some more advanced thing like roles and there are some plugins, password, validate password plugin. 1 second, let me switch my room. 1 second. Hello guys. So my voice is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So yeah, let's start with this. As I mentioned, so this session we will start from basics, and uh, I hope that next session will be the something like advanced, like um, this like MySQL 8 features like dual password, all these things, and um, some plugins, SSL, all these things we will be addressing the tomorrow classes. Okay. Fine. Um, so we know that we in the logical architecture we see that, right? So when the client is there are different clients like MySQL client connectors like Java connectors, uh, Python connectors, and the latest MySQL shell that is also using that also you can connect the MySQL and Workbench, right? You may aware of that, right? MySQL Workbench. So using that also you can make the connection with MySQL. So there are different clients or tools available to make the connection to the MySQL. So whenever you are trying to connect the MySQL, the first thing is network, of course. your network should be allowed to connect the MySQL port if you are trying to make the connection remotely, right? So once your network is allowed, then when you enter into the MySQL, um, the first validation will happen on the MySQL.user table. That table has holded the global privileges, right? It will have the I will show that it will have all the global privileges for the user. So it will store the password hash, user, right? SSL information, whether your user is locked or not, expired or not. This all information will be available in the MySQL.users table. So once you are successfully provided the right password and username, everything went in, then you have the other privileges like DB related privileges or table related privileges, column related privileges. These things will be validated whether if your user have that. Okay. So for example, uh, okay, let me open 1 second. Okay, so this is fine. Just log into the MySQL. So if you see that select star from MySQL dot user table where user equal to root. Okay, okay. Now let me do the horizontal print. Yeah, so here you can see this. If you see the entire columns available in this root user, you will see the user name here, right? Host, from which host you are authenticating. This is allowed in the local host. So if you are trying to authenticate from the different host, then you cannot, right? Because the root user can be allowed only from the local host, right? And these are all the global privileges. You can see this select, insert, update, delete, create. There are different privileges. Why means yes. If you do not have this access, then it should be no. Okay, for example, if you see one more user, I think bin log to SQL. Yeah. So this is another user. So if you see, okay, so here also we have the entire privilege, I think. Uh, okay. Let me quickly create user test at local host identified by some password. Test at 321. Okay, so now let's do for test. So this is just I created the user. I did not provided any privileges here. So here you can see this global privileges for this test user. Everything is no, right? So if I just grant the select to this user, let's say grant select uh, on to test at local host. I just provided the grant privilege for this user, right? So here you can see why for the select privilege. So this is the basic like when you are connecting the MySQL, this everything will be validated from here, and this is your password hash. Okay, password hash. This will be available based on your authentication plugin. Okay, so from MySQL 8.4 onwards, this default authentication plugin parameter is not there, and by default, that caching SHA to password plugin only, and by default you cannot change the plugin also. Okay, in the previous version you can do, but from MySQL this 8.4 you cannot change the plugin by default because MySQL native password is not supported here. It is not supported by default, but still you can use that. Okay, I will show you how to do that. But currently, by default, you cannot change the plugin. Okay, So this password will be validated from this authentication string. User and host will be validated from here. One second, let me admit. And this global privileges, everything will be there. If you have any SSL configuration for your user, those information from validated from here. And whether your account is locked or not, and what is your expire policy. So these all things will be validated from the MySQL.users table by default. And this MySQL.user table will hold the global privileges. Okay, global privileges. Fine. And there are different I mentioned here, right? Global, and we have DB related, table related. Even you can have the column related privileges also. Okay. So let's see that. So I have the um, like different set of SQL statement to quickly address this. Okay, so we see about this, right? And next, let's see about the database related privileges. For example, I'm creating one user. Okay, so this user, one second. So here you can see I just created one user with the name is db underscore user. Before that, let me see. Okay, so let me load the one SQL file. I have one SQL file which has the uh, databases I used for my testing. So once I load it, it would be helpful. db.sql. Okay. So now if you see that source schemas, you will see this five databases are get created. So just to assign the database specific privilege table to test differently. Okay. So I just created this databases, and each database has seven tables also. Okay. Fine. So so first, we see that what is the global thing, right? So that MySQL.user table. So there, everything will be allocated in the global. Apart from that, once you connect it, MySQL will also check whether this user have any database related privilege or not, table related privilege or not, or a column related privilege or not, how many databases, how many tables. These all things will be validated. So these things will be validated on the different tables. Okay. So for example, DB related privileges will be validated in the MySQL.db table, and table related privileges will be validated in the MySQL dot tables underscore privilege table, columns underscore privilege table. Similarly, for the procedures, I mean stored procedures or routines, it will be validated from the procs underscore privileges. Okay, so this all things will be to check or to maintain the uh, dedi- dedicated privileges. MySQL maintain the dedicated tables for each of that. Okay, so first let's see about this. Created one uh, database. We created for five databases, right? So now I'm going to create one table. Sorry, we already created one user, right? This user db underscore user identified by db@123. We created that user. Now I'm just providing the privilege grant select and insert on db1 dot star to this user. So here if you give star dot star, okay, instead of db1 dot star, if you provide star dot star, which means all the databases, all the tables, okay, all the databases, all the tables, so that will come in the global privilege. Okay, star dot star means that is the global privilege. Okay, everything will be maintained in the MySQL dot user table. But if you have the database name before like this, and this is the database name actually, and the next one is the table name. Okay, before this dot database, and after this dot, which is the table. Okay, so that is the if you create like star dot star, I think we given one privilege, right? Yeah, here you can see star dot star. If it is means it will be for the all the databases, all the available databases and all the tables, all the available tables. Okay. Now, if I want to restrict some user to connect only for some specific databases, then I can provide the access like this. I'm just providing the select and insert to DB1. Okay, so this user only have the access to DB1, right? And you can also validate it. For example, let me log in another shell here. Uh, for example, db underscore user, right? The username is db underscore user hyphen p. 1 second, let me check the password. Okay, db at 123. Db at 123. Don't put the password on the terminal. Okay, that is not the recommended thing. So here you can see this user currently only I can visible the DB1 database, right? But if you see in actually my MySQL have multiple databases, around 13 databases. Okay, but here you can see only the DB1 database is visible, right? You can ignore this performance schema and information schema that are the system databases, so it will be anyhow it will be there. Okay, so now you can see that I have DB1, DB2, DB5 here, three logs. There are a lot of databases, but finally you can see only the DB1. I can see the DB1 here because the user only have the access to DB1 database, right? Fine. And here, if you see, uh, let let me, yeah. So, uh, 1 second. Capital G. Yeah. So here you can see select star from MySQL.db, right? MySQL.db, where user equal to DB underscore user. So here, if you see, this table will maintain the DB related privileges, right? So here you can see that my username DB user, it has the access to DB1, and we provided the select and insert, right? Select and insert privileges to that user. So you can see this select and insert, we have yes, and all the other privileges are no, right? So you can check this table like mysql.db table to see that what are the users have the DB specific privileges. Okay, and the symbol method you can also do something like show grants for DB underscore user. Okay, so it will print. So this is the label most label way, and it will be quick to see all the privileges. But in case if you want to make any report, you may need to create some report for some auditing or whatever. Then you can play with all these tables to make some joins and depends on your needs. You can get it. Okay, but quickly if you want to check the privilege for any of the user, you can do like show grant for that specific user. And also one more command, show create user. Okay, show create user db underscore user. So it will give the create user statement to you. Okay, so you can just copy this and you can create the users. Okay, in any like environment, if you just want to create the same user somewhere else, you can just do the show create user for that specific user, and you can just copy this and you can go ahead and create it. Okay, fine. If you want to check the grant for the
What does it that grant usage on star dot star?
users is
That
um,
what
yeah,
does it mean?
that is a basic privilege assigned to any user which you are creating just for allowing the login. That's it. There is no specific thing. It will just allow the login. That's it. Yeah, whatever user you are creating for all the users, it will be the default one.
Yeah,
This,
that's the default one. That will without giving any this one select or anything. Just it will only log into MySQL for the purpose. It will be.
yeah, just for the login purpose. You cannot do anything with that.
Okay. No, here they given star dot star, right? That is why just
Yeah, yeah, because by default it should be global, right? When you are logging, it should be global, so
mm,
that you can see the star dot star there. But this usage privilege is just for the login.
mm.
Yeah, there is no, uh, you cannot do anything with that. Okay, fine. So this is about this. Yeah, and these two statements show grants and show create user. This will be useful. This will be useful to check quickly for any uh, user grants. And if you want to check the your current session grants, you can just do show grants also without provide passing any username. Just do show grants. It will print all your current privilege. Okay, so anyhow we logged in with root, right? So we have the entire privileges. Fine. Now, yeah, so we see that global thing and the DB specific privileges, and the next one is table specific. Okay, so just yeah, it will just allow the access to your table. Okay, so um, I'm just creating the user table underscore user identified with TBL 123. Okay, and providing the grants to update and select on db2 dot p2. Okay, so in the global we see star dot star, right? Star dot star. In the database wise privilege we see db1 dot star, which means all the tables available within the db1, right? So with so for example, if with this user, if you see use db1 show tables, you can see all the tables available here, right? Now, let me disconnect this one here and just disconnect it, and let me just change the TBL, DBL, and here table underscore user, right? Table underscore user. I managed to log in, show schemas. So here I can see only the DB2, and show tables. Here you can see only P2 table. But actually, if you see, use DB2, show tables, you have overall 7 tables in the database. But here, my user only have the privilege to access the P2 table, right? P2 table. So, it when I'm doing the show tables using that particular user, it is just showing the table which I have the access, right? Yeah, so this is about, and within this table also you can perform update and select. Okay, let's say select star from P2, right? Let me try to delete from P2. See the delete command in it, because I do not have the access to delete the data. I have the only the access to select and update. If I try to update, it should update T2 set name equal to some value. What happened? Update command need to this table, but I have the update, right? Update comma select on db2.p2. I'm on the right database, right table. It's weird. Let me check.
Table name is wrong. P2. You will put
Uh,
the table name is at T2.
yeah, yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. So it's happening. So what I did for delete? Okay, it is already P2. Fine. It's happening, right? So update. So I have the access to grants for update and select. And similarly, you have this table, tables underscore privilege table within the MySQL database. There you can see the privilege. For example, uh, plus capital G. What happened? Okay, let me accept. Okay, capital G. So here you can see this DB2 user is this one, and table name is P2. Now if I assign more tables, for example, I am assigning P3 as well, and I'm doing for P4 as well. Now, if you see, you will see the different entries. Previously, it was one, right? One row in the set. Now, I provided more tables, access P3 and P4, and you can see this P3 and P4, and what are the table privileges I had. Select and update, right? So, this will be maintain the uh, specific grants for the table specific grants. Okay, so by default the global will be in the mysql.user, then the DB related privileges will be maintained in the mysql.db, and the tables related privileges will be maintained in the mysql.table underscore privilege table. Okay, now this is more granular, like you can also provide the access based on the columns. Okay, in the MySQL that is also possible. Okay, you can just access only the particular columns, the columns which you have the access. Okay, so let's quickly test this also. For example, I'm going to create one new user here. The username is column underscore user, right? Column underscore user. And now I am going to provide the access to db3.p3. I'm just providing the access to name. Select should be name. Name is the column name. For example, okay, let me first provide the access. Select star from. You can see I have two columns here, ID and name, right? ID and name. Within these two columns, I just provided the access to the name column only on the table db3.p3. Okay, so let's quickly test this. And that is also only select. Okay, right? Only select. Now, again, let me log in with that user. What is that? Column user, right? Yeah. COLUMN, column user. And this is COL at 123. Right, I am just logged in. Show schemas. You can see I can only see the DB3, and within DB3 also, if I do show tables, I can only see the P3, right? But I have seven tables. As you see, I have seven tables here. Now, if I do select star from P3, uh, P3, you can see select command they need to user column underscore user local host for column ID, right? A column ID in the table P3. So we have overall two columns, ID and name. So we have only the access to the column name, right? So if I modify this query like select name from P3, it will work. Okay. But if I do for ID, it should not. Select command is denied. So because my user just have the access to this specific column, name column, right? So this is also something you can do. And yeah, this privileges will be maintained in the columns underscore privilege table. So if you see here, one second. If you see here, further from the DB3, this is the username, and this is the table name. There, it just have the access to the column name. Name column name is name, and you have this privilege. What privilege you have, and when this access is created, this timing also you can see here, right? So these are the like a flow. When you are trying to log in the connect the MySQL, the global privileges will be applied. That will be applied from the MySQL.user table, and then it will check for the DB related privileges on the MySQL.db table, and then it goes for the table related privileges for MySQL.tables underscore privilege table, PRIV, exact table name is, and finally it will also verify if you have any access to the um, mm, columns, column specific access. That will be checked in the columns underscore privilege table, PRIV table, right? So yeah, this is about it. Uh, Okay, 1 second. Guys, 1 second. Let me move 1 second.
Sorry, that column user can describe table. What are the columns are there that user can do or not?
Hey, sorry. So, um, any questions? Someone has
Ah,
some.
yes, sorry. That user column privilege we have given to column user, right?
Ah,
That user can do describe table.
describe table. I don't think it will work. Let's try it. You mean that DESC, right?
Yeah, DSCP3 can do or not.
So it will just display the name column.
Mm-hmm.
So there only you have the privilege, right?
Ah, that is good. Otherwise, if
Mm.
user forgot to like what are the columns are there, how he will select, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is correct.
And insert also, if we given insert update privilege, that time this user can do insert only for this particular column, right?
Particular column. Yes. But it will not allow, right?
If
If you
primary
have the
key,
other tables, if they have the default value, then it will allow. But if you don't have the default value, you cannot insert, right? But this update you can do.
okay,
Yeah, that's column specifically. You can do update, delete, and insert. I think it will not be allowed. Cool.
Three, as per the requirement, we required a new user
Hmm.
just with the same password of the DB1. How can we create that?
Same password of the DB1, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we will see that. Okay, so we have that in the list. So here you will see create user using existing hash. We will see that. Okay, let's go the flow.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, today only we will see that. So no issues. Fine. So let's continue. So we see all this flow, right? Global, DV, table, and column. And routines have the specific table. Routines means like a stored procedure. Have the specific table to maintain the privilege, which is just the procs underscore privilege. Okay. So for example, this will just control the execution of the store procedure. Okay. That table access is nothing. If you have that access to this particular procedure, you can execute it. That's it. Okay. And it will not explicitly, it will not provide any access to the tables. Okay, so for example, this is one of the symbol procedure. Within the procedure, I'm just calling the select star from db4.p4. Okay, so let's try to check this one also quickly. For example, use db4. Within the db4, I'm just created this procedure, right? I just created this procedure. Now I'm just creating the new user which is routine underscore user and to execute the procedures we need to provide the execute grant that is the dedicatedly for executing the procedures and functions. Okay, so here I just provide grant execute on procedure this particular procedure. This is the procedure name, right? Get underscore db underscore p4 provided the access to this. And now let me log in here with the routine underscore user or outine and proc, right? PROC 123. 123. So here show schemas. So use DB4, show tables, nothing. But still, let me try to call this one, this procedure, call, right? So I am able to call this procedure. But you can see there is no explicitly I do not have access to any table, but still I can call the procedure. That is, so I just want to share this one also. Because I have the execute privilege here. So this means I can just only call the procedure. I cannot directly access the tables. That's what I want to like say here. Okay. And the similar way you can get the access yeah, for this access will be maintained inside the use MySQL procs underscore privilege priv table. Okay, this user have the access to this routine get db underscore p4 table. Right, this procedure have the option, and I can execute this, and it will also maintain the timing when this access is provided and who provided it. Okay, it is provided by the root account. Fine. So these are the important privileges table we should aware. What has what, like which user have what privilege. This all DB specific and table column, all these specific things. Okay. And this is also one more thing I want to show you. The single user can have a complete global table based, and column level privileges or not. It is possible. LUMN. Okay, it is possible. So, like this new, you can create this user and this select provide on the global thing star dot star, which means this user will have the select access to the entire databases, entire tables, and insert privilege only available for the DB1 dot star, which means I can insert all the tables inside the DB1, and update should be db2.p2, which means I can only update the db2.p2 table. And select means I also provide the select privilege to only this name column within the db3. Okay, within the db3 I can only perform the select on this name column. So let me quickly, I think it should work. Yeah, so I just copy that entire thing and paste it here. So here you can see MySQL -u mixed user -p. What is the password? Mix at 123, right? If you see the show grants here, I have the this kind of access here, right? And now, okay, let me admit. Narendra, now show schemas, it will be displayed because I have the global select on all the database and all the tables, right? Within the DB2 use, sorry, within the DB1 show tables, I have this table select star from P1, sorry, select star from P1, and let me P2, and if I do some delete from, one second, delete from P1, it is delete, and then use db2 I have the access to p2 table, only the update, right? select star from P1, and if I am trying to delete from P1, it should not, right? And yeah, this is I'm trying on the P1, and let me try to delete on P2. This will also not allowed. So here, one thing, if you noticed, see, I have this DB specific privilege update, and here also insert only on the db2.p2, right? db2.p2, I can do only update. But if you see within the db2, I can do select star from p1, right? But in the db2, I just provided the access to db2 table only, right here, database specific. But if you see the first one, the global thing, I provide the select to the entire database and the entire table, right? So it will like um, I already provided the select to the global privilege. So within that, your that is the first level. So as you see here, global, then the DB, next evaluation will be DB, and table, finally it will be column. So it may confuse you. So I just want to explain that. Okay. And finally, also you have the only the see, and here also if you see DB3, use DB3. If I do select star from P3, the command is not denied, right? Command is not denied. I provide the only access to the name column here, but I can see both ID and name, because this is the thing. Like first of all, in the global, I have the select access to the entire database and the entire table. So this is like this is overridden, or this is here. This grant is like restriction is not, it is not effective here, because I already provided the entire thing. So the only way, you need to revoke this grant, revoke this privilege. So then you can restrict based on the database level or table level, column level, whatever. Okay, so as you have the global privilege, this will be the first priority. So it will not, I mean, this will not override the global thing. As you see here, the global is it will have the first priority. Okay, it will override the DB and column level and table level privileges. Okay, fine. So this is about this. I think this is clear, right? We see that created the user, and we address this different tables within the MySQL database. Yeah, fine. The next one is prox privilege. You see this? Yeah. Creating and managing the MySQL accounts, MySQL users. Okay. So, what is that? Max length. Yeah. So you can see this one. Sometimes if you have this, if you worked on this AWS environment, AWS Aurora RDS, there the user string will be length is higher, right? When when your data migration did the data migration to configure the replication, if you create some user there, you may get into this kind of situation, because for if you see the show create table mysql.user, the maximum allowed character length for the user table is 32, right? It is 32. So for example, if I am creating any user, uh, create user 1 2 3 4 5 5 10 15 20 25 30 30 local host, yeah, identified by something 1 2 3. Okay. I'm able to create this because this currently I have the character length is 30. Now let me add one more A. I'm able to create. Let me add, now this is 32, right? So when I'm creating this, it is telling like operation create user failed for this user, right? Because um, like as I show you, like your user column maximum, it can allow accept uh, 32 character length. Okay, so if you are uh, I mean, if you are hit that threshold, you cannot create the user. Okay, so this is one thing. If you are handling with Aurora and RDS, you may already get into this issue. But yeah, just wanted to show here as well. And similarly, for the host name, you have this. The length is 255 character length. So you can anyhow that host name. I don't think that will be that much huge, right? And for the password authentication string, it will be in the text, so there is no limit, right? Yeah, so just wanted to show this one. The maximum user length you can create is below 32 characters. Okay, fine. And the next one is host explanation. Yeah, so yeah, so you, while creating the user, you may see this. For example, select user comma host from mysql.user. Okay, so if you see this, I can like you can see there are few users created with the percentage symbol, and some of the user with local host, and one of this user is from InnoDB, which means the exact host name, right? And you can create the users with IPs, right? You know that, right? For example, host name hyphen I. So you can use this IPs, right? And you can also create the host with let's say with the subnets like 10.255 something. If you have some 10 or 15 private IPs within this range, instead of creating the dedicated user for all the host, you can just create something like this. Okay, 10.255 dot this percentage symbol. So which means all the IPs which are started with 10.255 will be allowed. Okay, and so the most recommended way is creating the user with the exact IP. Let's say if you have the IP 10.255 dot 10 dot something 101. So if this is the IP, what I would recommend is just create the user with the exact IP what you have. Okay, so which means so first of all, let me tell you. So this test user can access the MySQL only from the local host. Okay, this root user can access the MySQL only from the local host, and this user A can access the MySQL only from this host, from this InnoDB host name, the host which has the InnoDB. And what this percentage means, any it is open to world, like anyone can access the MySQL, but network is there, right? The network separation is there within the same network. If you properly configure your network and secure the MySQL within the same network, anyone can access this. Whoever have the MySQL port access, they can access the MySQL. This percentage means it is not restricted with any IP. Percentage means anyone can access. Anyone can access, but if you have the access to your MySQL port, then anyone can access it. Okay. It is not restricted with any host name or any IP. So usually we recommend to not create any user with the percentage symbol. That is not safe. Okay, that is literally it is not safe to have the MySQL users with the percentage. Okay, so always create the user with the proper IP where the user need to access. Let's say if you have four application servers, they need to connect the MySQL. Just get the IP of that four application server, then just create the user. That's it. Okay. And also this is something okay within your private network. You are allowing access to all the IPs, but still it is not recommended. Okay. So just have the access with the proper IP. That is the recommended thing. And here, um, for example, if I have the user with the host name, so here you can see this ANODB. I did not remember the password for that. So let me create one new user. Okay. So actually this is my host name. ANODB is my host name. Right. Now if I am trying to create one user, create user, let's make A1 at InnoDB. I'm creating with my host name. Okay, InnoDB identified by InnoDB. Okay, so that is my password. So MySQL hyphen A1 hyphen U A1 hyphen P. This is the password. So if you see, it is the access range because it is trying to, by default, it is trying to access through the local host. But I do not have the access to the local host for the A1, right? So here, what I need to do, host name hyphen I. So when I am providing the IP, it will do the reverse lookup on the DNS, and based on the host name, it should allow the login. Let's test that. Okay, InnoDB. I'm providing the host to this one. Yeah, so here you can see show grants. I'm able to log in. I am connected the MySQL with the A1 at InnoDB. But here what I want to show is select at skip name resolve this parameter. So this is currently by default it is off. Okay. Now let's see. This is actually the static parameter. You cannot set it using set global. It will not work. You need the restart. Okay, when you are modifying this parameter. For example, etc MySQL MySQL conf.d MySQL d dot cnf. I am adding this parameter here. Okay. I'm enabling it. Currently it is disabled, right? I'm just enabling it. So whenever you made the changes to your config file, you need the restart. Restart, right? Just restarting the MySQL. Yeah. So now I am trying to log in with the same thing. You can see. Uh, yeah. So it is not loaded and it will not allow you to log in. Okay. Because this parameter, where is that? Skip name resolve. I want to test one more thing because this error is not looks good to me. So you can enable the MySQL native password. I mentioned in the start, right? So from 8.4, this default authentication plugin parameter is completely removed, and the caching SHA2 password plugin is the default one. By default, MySQL native password will never support. Okay, for example, if you see this example, one second. So if you see this example, I want to convert some user. For example, select user, comma, host, comma, plugin. plugin from MySQL.user. Okay, MySQL.user. I just want to convert this user from caching SH2 password to MySQL native password. Further, what we do usually, alter user this one at percentage the host name identified with MySQL native password by password. Password is I think COL at 123. Okay. So if you see what it is telling, plugin MySQL native password is not loaded. So this is but this is not the case in the previous versions. You can switch the plugins easily, like by executing this command. But in the 8.4, this MySQL native password is completely, not completely, it is removed by default. But still, you can load it. So if you want to if you want to use the MySQL native password still, then what you need to do with inside your config file, you need to add MySQL native password equal to on. Okay, spelling is correct, right? Right. Now you need to, 1 second. Yeah, you need to restart the MySQL. Yeah. So now I logged in. Now let me execute the same command. You can see now I am able to do that. And if you see the select user comma host comma plugin for the MySQL.user, where is that? Yeah. So this plugin is now changed from the caching SH2 password to MySQL native password. Okay, so still you can use the MySQL native password if you are on the MySQL 8.4.7, 8.4 version. Still, you can use the MySQL native password, but you need to explicitly you need to enable it in your MySQL config file. Okay, so yeah, just want to share it. Now let me try this one. Yeah, so here access need for A1. 1 second. Create user A3. Yeah, this is little bit weird to me, so I just wanted to test it. Identify by node MB1. Sorry. So A3 is the user. Password is InnoDB1. InnoDB1. Yeah, right. So now if you see, select at skip name resolve. Yeah. So previously it was 0, right? Now it is 1, right? Which means I enable this. So what within the parameter name itself, it is telling it will skip the name, resolving the name, which means when you enable this parameter, if you are trying to authenticate the user with host name, because this users are created with the exact host name, right? It will not allow the user to log in. Okay, it will block the 1 second. Let me admit. It will block the users to access with the host name. Okay, if you enable this parameter. So I see most of this from my experience, most of the people are enable this parameter, skip name resolve. So what the reason they were telling, they were seeing this unauthenticated user, because when there is some delay on the reverse lookup on the DNS side, it will create some issues on their environment. So when they enable the host-based logging, and it also introduce some delay because it needs to perform the reverse lookup. All these things also introduce some delay, some milliseconds of delay. That is also creating some latencies on their environment. So this is actually one of the customer I was very closely working with them on these issues. So after they enable this parameter, skip name resolve parameter, and they converted every user from host name to IP. They just provide the exact IP. So they were completely get out of the issue which they had. This connections pile up due to this some kind of latencies in their application side. This everything was sorted after we enable this parameter. And when you are enabling this, you need to very make sure like all your users should have the proper IPs instead of host name in your MySQL.user table. Okay. So if you are any situations like you may see if you are in the process list, lot of unauthenticated users. Um, I'm not sure whether you were in that situation or not, but it will actually trying to get in. That is half of the like the user with host name that due to that DNS lookup delay, the connections were pile up and it will quickly reach your max connection threshold, and they had the outage also. Actually, that was quite like a long story. I had for 1 month of time we took to address that all these things. But after we just change this parameter to on, and we just completely change instead of host, we started to authenticate using the IP. The everything is completely fixed. Yeah, so just start to share about this parameter. This was very helpful for us that time. Okay, fine. So this is about it. And yeah, so
That with that string it will connect, right?
uh, I'm not getting you.
Like with IP, it was denied before enabling that parameter, right? Escape parameter. But with that string, it will connect, right? MySQL hyphen u
Yeah, yeah,
and
of course. So what happened if when you are providing this IP, previously it was connected, right? You might,
off. During off, it was connected. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. When it was on off, it should connect. So what happened? It will try to connect with the IP, and if this IP have the this is because the local host, right? So it will automatically MySQL will do the lookup on the host name also for this IP when this parameter is off. Okay, but when it is on, it should not. And also you can do enable this in remotely also by using the etc host file. You need to make the entry and you can allow the connect based on the host name on the different IPs. Yeah. And yeah, this identified with and by, we see that, right? With means changing the plugin for your user. And by identified by means that we will use in the password. For example, uh, here, see, um, yeah, right. With the identified with, we can provide the change the plugin, and there are some resource control parameters also. For example, you can tell the user, tell the MySQL to allow this user to make only 5 connections, or within 1 hour, or within 2 hour, or 1 day, this user should execute this much of statements. This everything you can control. We will see that. So that those options also will be uh, defined in the identified with. Okay. And identified by means that is mostly the password. Mostly the password we will give the identified by uh, the password name. That's it. Okay. So so here you can see this. This is the one identi with. So this is identified by password with this max queries per hour, max update. Anyhow, we will see that example. Let's come to one by one. Okay. The next one is, oh man, this throat. The next one is creating the user using the existing hash. I think Amitesh were asking for this. Uh, let's see this. So for example, uh, let me select user, comma, host, comma, authentication plugin, authentication plugin from MySQL.user. Select AU. Sorry, authentication string from MySQL.user. Okay. Let me add one more thing here. Let me add plugin as well. User, comma, host, comma, plugin, comma, authentication string. So if you see here we have the one second. Yeah. So if you see most of the users are with the like caching SHA2 password plugin, right? Only this user we have uh, MySQL native password. Now let's say I want to create one more user uh, with this same password which this user has. Okay. Uh, for example, I want to create user column 2 at localhost identified yeah identified with MySQL native password by if I want to create I do not aware of this password. I do not aware of the plain text password this user. But I need to create the another user with the same password of this one. That is the exact scenario, right, Amitesh? Or
Yes, 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 yes.
so this is something you can doable with the MySQL native password, but with the caching, you mean like you want to know how to do that.
Ye- In the caching SHA2 plugin, it
Uh-huh.
will be getting other some issue because the password authentication string is not in a one line.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the let's say
It's a create the some issue, but in the MySQL native password, we can create the user with the same password because the authentication string is one liner.
one
So
line.
it's a easy to be create the new user, but that particular time when we using the caching SHA2 password and we
Mm-hmm.
try to create the new user with the same password, then we getting the some issues
Yeah,
because
because of
the
this spacing, all
yes,
these
yes,
things.
yes, yes, yes.
This okay, okay, got it.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So this is something you can do. Let's say. You
has
can,
a hack uh, has a something HX5 as something you will tell us previously.
yeah,
Mm,
that is the, I think that is the exact way you can do.
yes, 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 yes. But
Yeah,
just I forget that. So please, once again, you can.
yeah. So that is something like, for example, where user equal to, let's get any one of the user. This one.
Mixed use. Yes, it's good.
So this hash is something like this, right? So this space here and here, the
Yes, yes, yes.
allow you to properly copy. So here what you can do is you can just convert this authentication string to hex code. MySQL have the function.
Yes.
See, if you give show create user
Yeah, one second.
for the same,
Show create user. This one, right?
yeah. Oh, even here also it will come the same.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. So sometimes it will not work.
But Shri, we can use the hacks uh, function here.
Hmm.
We can use that the hex function here to the change the. I mean, we can change the password in the one liner
Yeah. So
through
see
the
that would
through this
be,
command. So create user.
no, I don't think. Yeah, that is something we can this create user command you can copy. Like let me show you.
Mm.
But anyhow, you need to manually do that hex thing. So
Yes,
we have
yes.
this command here, right? Sorry. Yeah. So here just I think this is a simple approach, right? You can do some automation. So once you add this hexa function, now it is one liner, right? This is one liner. But I think this will not. Hmm.
But here the authentication string has been changed.
What change?
That string is the $A5. The password
Yeah,
will be
that
remaining the same.
password is same. That's what I'm telling. So for example, let me address this correctly. Uh, so I am just creating one user. For example, create user. What to do? H1 at local host identified by some password h at 321. This is my password for this user. Okay, and this is created with the select user comma from mysql.user. Yeah, where user equal to h1, right? H1. I have something like this. Okay, now if I am trying to log in with this MySQL, this is a currently caching SH2. Okay,
Yes,
MySQL hyphen u h1 hyphen p. This password is h at 321. So this is what happened. Okay, the username is h1 h at 321. What happened?
Skip native as enable. Skip name resolve.
Anyhow, we are doing with
Mm,
local host.
at the rate will be getting the some issues in the password
Oh,
whenever we put.
okay, drop user. That number is there, right? So that could be the reason.
At the
Um,
rate, not the at the rate. Whenever we use the at the rate in the password, it will be always getting the some issues.
oh, you mean there?
And not there, not there, not there. In
Uh-huh.
the password,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
password.
I got you. But it should not, right? It should not happen, right? Now, what I'm suspecting is that we had this at the rate here. Let me just try to authenticate with this one.
Local host Shri. Loca L is missing.
Ah, man. Yeah. That is the thing. Yeah.
Okay, okay, one.
Cool. Uh, just going with the same thing. Local host. I'm adding H1. Okay. This is just created and yeah, H1. I'm able to authenticate it. Okay. Now I want to create the hash user with the same password of H1. Okay. But now let's say I am not aware of this password. Okay, let's say this hash is not going to work. Just manually copying because this is a caching SHA2 password plugin. So what I need to do, just convert this authentication plugin to hex hex code. Okay. So once you are doing, now you will get this one liner, the similar like MySQL native password hash. Just copy it. So I'm just copying over here. What happened? Okay. So I'm just putting the hash here. But before using this hash, you need to explicitly add 0x. Okay. 0x in the prefix. Now I can prepare the command. For example, I'm going to create one new user. Okay. New user means h2. I'm going to create user h2. For example, create user h2 at localhost identified with identified with caching sha2 password, right? I think
As,
us, right?
yes, yes, as, yes.
As this hash and copying this.
Put in the single quote.
I don't think it is needed.
Okay,
Let me try once.
okay.
Yeah. So now you can see it is created. Now I am trying to log in with this instead of H1, I am changing to H2. You will able to log in. Show grants. Now I am connected with the H2 at localhost. Yeah. So instead of directly copying the caching SH2 hash, it will never work. Sometimes it will work. I also have that experience. Sometimes it will work if you do
Yes,
not have much space within the hash. But this is the most reliable way. You can use it to convert the password from there to here. This is makes sense, right?
Shri, that
Hmm.
hash value can decrypt as well?
You mean to
Pass,
decrypt the hash?
pass, yes, yes. Password decryption can do.
I don't think, man. Uh, I was trying sometimes before, but I were not able to do that.
see, what is the difference? I mean, some additional feature you can say that the what is the difference between the MySQL native plugin and the caching SHA2 plugin?
Yeah, so caching by default it will comes with the SSL. It will
Mm.
enforce the security more comparing to the MySQL native password. So this is something adding more advanced level security to your user accounts
Yeah,
because
caching SH2, they used 256 E algorithm. That's the
yeah,
latest algorithm. 256 E or something. 256 that algorithm they use it for caching SH2, which is regularly using in Oracle or other database technologies.
okay, so for you mean that for Oracle also this is the default one?
Yeah, now there are Actually, this 256E algorithm it was using since long,
Oh, okay.
very very long. I meant to say the versions which are from 9A onwards. Now almost 2022 19.25 something. In
Mm-hmm.
MySQL, they used the recently from 8.4 onwards. I
Oh,
think it was there earlier also, but they made it from 8.4. This is the default one,
oh,
caching SH.
okay, okay.
The
So from mm,
password decryption, the it means to say 256E algorithm that it is very difficult to decrypt this password.
okay, okay. So from my understanding, I mean, the advantages comparing to the MySQL native password is this one. I mean, this caching such a password, like when you are firstly authenticated the MySQL, the passwords, the authentication details will be cached also. When you are trying to log in again, your login will be quick. That is the one thing, and this added more encryption. Like,
Encryption, yeah,
yeah,
more
so
encryption.
this brute force, this kind of attacks can be avoided. Your password will never convert it to the plain text, I think. Uh,
Correct.
yeah, so these are all the advantages using this one. Cool.
And one more thing, Sri, we have updated MySQL native password in config file, right?
Yes.
But newly created users are using this caching only.
Yeah, it should. Yes. So
Why that?
we just enable the plugin. That's it. We cannot enforce the default one. Default is always
Yeah,
for caching SHA2. But you just enable the MySQL native password so that you can convert your users to MySQL native password, or you can create your users with MySQL native password. But the default one is always the caching SHA2 password only.
Okay, that is only for the conversion purpose.
Yeah, yeah,
Means
right. Just you are
that.
enabling that feature, that's it.
Okay. One thing is there now, Sri, that collation means what is meant by the collation in MySQL? Coll
Collation,
Mhm.
we have collation character sets. These are support for this animation thing, right? And some languages support. All these things we will use that. This also ensure that like case insensitivity, ascending, descending. There are few things are there, man. So that is mostly used to, for example, let's say you have this table value to upper, right? You have this function like let's say, let me tell one of the example. Select upper of, see, and they have one more option is lower of, sorry, let me add a capital A here. It will convert to lower. So for let me tell one example. This I worked on this collation thing. So their data in one of the column they actually stored in the uh, lower function. Okay. But sorry, upper function. For example, within the data, uh, select star from P1. Oh, sorry, use DB1. Which user I logged in? Use DB1. Select star from P1, right? And here let me create table T1, T1 like P1. Okay. And insert into T1 values 1 comma A, 2 comma B. Let me add some five values. 3, comma C. 4, comma D. 5, comma E. Okay. Yeah, now if you see, this data is stored from T1. This data are stored like this, right? So some people, what they will do, they will convert. For example, select star from T1 where lower of name equal to CCC. Okay. So they will convert like this. They will convert the, uh, I mean, some developers write the queries. They do not aware how the data is stored in the DB, whether it is uppercase or lowercase or not. And if I am querying with small lowercase ccc equal, then the result may not um, retrieved because my data is stored in the uppercase ccc, right? By default it will, but some cases that is also possible. We have the lowercase name parameter, and so yeah, let me tell here. So what they will do, they will just convert the entire column, entire name column to the lower function, using the lower function to the lower case. Then they will come match with the lowercase value. So they will get the exact values. Okay. So, but here what it will decide whether we need, and one more thing. Now let me add alter table T1, add index idx idx name. I am adding one index to this column. Okay, name column. If I do the explain plan for this, you can see this index is getting used, but my row scanning is still 5, right? My row scanning is 5. 5 means only 5 rows I have, which means the full table scan. It is doing the full table scan. But the actually it is retrieving only one row, right? Only one row. So this is the rule when we have the function, when we use the function, MySQL will avoid using the index. Okay. Even it is using, it is going to the full table scan. You can see the row scanning is 5, so it will impact your performance. Here it is small table, but if you have the same situation on your some bigger table which has some millions of data, then it will definitely the performance hit, right? Up, fine. So this is the another thing. Now let me come back to your collation question. So here we need to see if I remove this lower function. If I remove the lower function, result is same and explain. Now you can see this row scanning is 1 after removing the lower function. So, and without lower function removing, I mean, without the lower function also, I'm I'm just getting the value with lowercase, but my data is actually stored in the uppercase, and the result is retrieving. It is working fine. But here, which one will decide it? That is the thing here. So usually what we recommend when we have something kind of lower and upper function they are trying to do, first what we will check, show create table T1. If you see, this is the collation for the table, and the collation is UTF-8 MB4 0900 AI CI. A means ascent insensitive, CI means case insensitive. You have CS also, which is case sensitive. AS means assent sensitive, right? So this CA means this collation, which is like case insensitive, which means this is the here the function is not needed because this table, I mean this column is case insensitive. So you can compare lowercase with uppercase, uppercase with lowercase. But if this particular column, name column is case sensitive, you cannot compare with uppercase to lowercase, lowercase to uppercase. Okay, so this is one of the major role of the collation regarding the case sensitive CI or CS within the column or table. Similarly, accent sensitive. Accent sensitive means some kind of letters like let's say some letters. I'm not sure whether which language is that. Something like this. Above the A, there might be something like some what to say, man. This one, some kind of quotes will be there. Some different letters are there, right? Within the A, there are some up arrow kind of letters are there, right? So that will be can be match or not. That will be for the accent sensitive. So this topic we will see in the query optimization session completely. But yeah, as you asked, the role of the collation is this is the one of the major role from my experience. Whether this accent sensitive or insensitive, case sensitive or insensitive, whether we need these functions or not, that in the performance wise how we can improve. So these all things we will see the collation. And coming to the character set, not much, but like this support for your animations. Let's say the older emojis will support with the UTF-8, but the advanced emojis, the things or animation things gives this are not supported for the UTF-8. It needs the support from the UTF-8 MB4. That is something the additional upgraded level, I would say, of your emotes, emojis, this kind of thing. But yeah, I can share more details on that if you need. But this is one of the cool example about the to get to know about the collation. So the major role is ascend and case for the collation. How it can be compared with the string that will be defined by the collation.
Sri, this one, the password component plugin uh, we can attach, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we will see
So,
that.
say, for example, we
Yeah,
will see
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, so we have the plugin.
Okay.
So once we install, we can do like compare the things like we can add the how password length, uh,
Yeah, password length and
how much
this one,
upper
that
cases, lower cases, special
how many.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that we
this
need to write externally, and then we need to attach to this, or that will tell later.
that is a
It is there.
plugin actually. We need
Uh-huh.
to just install. So here you can see, right? Password policies, all these things we will be addressed. Okay, so
Okay.
actually I created this list of topics for I am planning to create one Udemy course on this.
Mm.
So
Oh,
I
okay.
drafted this topics. So I think once we completed, then I may try to create one. Let's see. We will see that
Okay.
in the tomorrow session. We will address all these things.
So it means actually that password plugin, it will come by default with the software, or we need to create a extra plugin and attach to this users.
It is default
What?
actually. So for example, we have the plugin directory. So there we will see all the plugins. Okay. So if you, this is the plugin directory. So
Mhm.
if you go into this directory, you will see all these plugins. So
Okay,
here,
okay.
yeah,
Component
it's,
score password, validate password.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is the plugin we need to install. Once we install that,
It will. Okay,
we will
got it.
get all the parameters related to the plugins. There we
Mm-mm.
can control it. Okay.
Even
Uh,
here, here itself, that MySQL native password plugin also there.
MySQL native password, I don't think. Do we have here?
No,
No login. No, right? Yeah, it
no.
is not.
No, see, you added that parameter and restarted the this one, right? Service MySQL service.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
it is allowed to MySQL native password plugin for while creating the user. So is it from where it this one
So
it went wrong?
actually
Is it
that
in the
is
binaries
inbuilt.
or
Yeah,
MySQL
yeah.
binaries?
That is inbuilt thing. Even you do
Inbuilt.
not see
Okay.
the plugin for this caching also here, right? So
Mm,
that is
correct,
in,
correct. Those
yeah,
all
that
are
is,
in inbuilt.
yeah, yeah. We just need to enable. And also, if you want to load any one of the plugin from here in this folder,
Mm,
you should not do like that. Like means MySQL entity password equal to on we did, right? That is
yeah,
something not
here we
possible
need to
here.
install these plugins. These are
Yeah, yeah.
external plugins, so we
There
need
is
to
a
install.
correct. There is a parameter plugin
Install
load.
and yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
install plugin or uninstall plugin,
Yeah,
install
that
password.
is, yeah, that is dynamically we can do. And anyhow, we
Mm,
need to make the entry in the CNF also so that we can ensure properly plug in and plug the plugin.
mhm,
Yeah, so for that we have few options like plugin load, add. There are few options. We
okay.
need to use that.
Yeah,
Cool.
Shakti sir, there is one case to be discussed.
Mhm.
Let assume there are two databases, DB1 and DB2, and there are two application users, A1 and A2. A1 should be access DB1 and A2
So
should be
in the
access
same
DB2.
MySQL instance, right?
Yes, yes, you're right.
Okay.
So, is there any way to create role, read-only role?
Mm.
Uh, it should be if I grant the read-only role to the two users, A1 and A2, then A1 should be access a DB1. It should be select the DB1 user, and it shouldn't be supposed to see any privilege tables from the DB2. And again, if I grant the same role to the A2, A2 should be access and select read only, having read only to DB2, and it shouldn't be supposed to have, uh, I mean, to visible any tables from the DB1. Is it such situation is possible by creating some such
So
roles?
you mean like you have two dedicated user, you have two dedicated database, but
Yeah,
you should maintain this with one single role.
exactly, correct. It should be read only role or something like that. Yeah.
So you have select privilege to that role. Let's say you have the role. Mm, second. So you have role one, and you have user one, user two,
Yeah.
DB1, DB2. So this role have the select privilege, role one, and it should access both of this user. You need to assign this role to both of this user, right? I think this is possible, right? Anyhow,
Yes,
this
yes,
user,
we,
yeah, role will
we
just maintain the privileges.
yes, yes. We can create the two role here, no? Role one and role two. One
No,
is
no.
the
The
one one
situation is
one.
to having one role only. We should be
No,
able
we
to.
can, yeah, we can create one role, and within that role, whatever privileges you want. See, for example, whatever privileges you want, so that privileges you can grant to them by
But
Mm.
using.
I
Yes,
cannot.
yes,
I
yes,
cannot
yes.
explicitly mention
No,
that
no, no,
table.
no. No, you can provided that. You can create the role and the grant the permission of the two tables. Suppose that key you D1 DV1 has read only. No, no.
Yeah,
So,
you write here itself, Sri. See what is exactly is he wants. Role one you create and then grant select
Yeah, so
right there.
one more question, Sai. So this role can access, see, this is something possible. We can theoretically, what I'm thinking, if I create role one and I provide the select to that particular role, I can assign that role both of the user. That is something possible. But this role itself, uh,
No, it's not possible. Say,
so
if we can
user
get, mm,
user one
Okay,
should
okay.
view the DB1 and user two should view the DB2. They can user one should not view the DB2, something like that.
Yes, correct.
so
Okay.
how can we define that both roles on the same role ID? It's getting the some issues.
Yeah, yeah. So the cross thing dedicatedly
Mm,
providing is something not possible, right, Sai?
Something, yes, yes. We can create. We need to we create the separate role for the each. One role is for the insert and update,
Hmm.
and one role is for the select. I mean read only, and then assign to be each other.
Yeah, yeah. That
But
is correct.
not possible to be cross and given the cross permission for for the both users with the single role. It's creating the some huge issue.
Hmm. So let me try. But yeah, that is something not possible, I think. For example, create role something R only, read only. Okay. And what are the databases I have? Show schemas. Now I need to, let's say DB1 and DB2. Uh, grant select on DB1 dot star to R only. Right, Amdish? Yeah. And similarly, if I want to provide the another privilege, let's say DB2, I can do this. But whenever I am assigning this role to any of the user, by default, the user will get the access to DB1 and DB2.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right. So
And
that is
we can provide the
I
any
I given. Can you check my chart once? Something like it's. We tried it, but it is not sure whether it is correct or not. I just
create
check the
user.
chart once.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
given.
Checking that. Create user identified by password. Grant read-only role to this user. Okay. Revoke all privileges on DB2 from. So this is something again you are managing on the user level, right? But when you are assigning the role,
if
the-
if we can revoke the all permission, then it will be not able to be do anything.
Can you
then
give a check here? I think.
No, Siri,
uh,
here question
Simple,
what I
simply
understood that a
because
role or a privilege, which one is override? Right? First, he assigned whatever privilege from the roles. Later, he wants to revoke particular privileges. That
so
means which
mm,
one will overlap? Role will overlap or a single privilege? That
see,
is the question, I believe.
yeah, let's test it. So Sai, just see the terminal.
yeah, please.
mm,
So we just, yeah, based on your requirement, we created one role here and we assigned the role. Sorry, we provided the select to DB1 and DB2, right?
mm,
So do you see anything issue here, Sai?
So far, good. Yeah.
Cool. Now let me create two user. Create user. You what user I can do? Okay, user one at local host identified by you at 321. Okay. So similarly, user 2. Okay. Fine. Now what you want to do? Now if we assign this role to here, both of these user, they can view both the databases, right? So what is the approach you are thinking here?
Yeah, as is mentioned here, right?
Hmm.
First grant that and again revoke something like that. What I given there. Same, can you do that something?
You want to grant this role to both of the user first, right?
Yeah. Start with U1, user one.
Okay. Grant or only. I think this is right? This is how we provide grant or only to
User one.
user one at localhost. Yeah. And similarly, R only to user 2 dot localhost. But in this case, they can both database they can access, right? User
Yeah.
1 and user 2 can access both the DB1 and DB2.
Yes. So vice versa, they can able to view, right? Yeah.
Mm.
Now the revoke. Can you run that revoke privilege which I given?
Oh, 1 second. Show grants for R only. Yeah, so this R only have this and show grants for user 1. User 1 at localhost. And yeah, so both have the R only privilege and the R only have select on DB1 and DB2. Fine. Now tell.
Yeah. The next command is right. Revoke
Revoke
all privileges on db2 dot star.
all on, but all from right? Revoke in the sense,
The second database is there. The db2 is there, right?
yeah.
db2 dot star
DB2 dot star
from the user one.
from user 1 at localhost.
Mhm.
All privilege.
All privileges. EA, AGS. You mean like all privilege? I don't
No,
think, man.
what is that?
You can use
Revoke all privileges on. One
yeah,
second.
that's what we used here, right? Or any spelling mistake.
All privileges on
Yeah,
db2.
instead of all privileges, you can use all as well.
Yes, yes.
But this is correct, right? Because your DB2 user 1 does not have that privilege. If it is there, then only it can revoke, right?
Siri just give revoke that select on db1 dot star or db2 star. That
Okay.
might
That
save some.
makes sense.
Mm.
Select on DB2. No, it has
User one has a defined the permission with the role. So
to
it's not
R
will be
only.
so
So here if think R only work. That also not work. Illegal privilege level specified for R only.
No, that
Illegal.
is not there. No, that not
Correct. That is
DB
not
level,
allowing.
not DB level, right? So
Yes.
I believe here a role should overlap to other individual privilege, right?
Yeah. So here the only way is we can revoke the privilege from the role and we need to create one more role and we need to assign it. I
No, that
don't.
yeah.
if this kind of thing we did, that will create the confusion, right? The role also there, and then later we are revoking the single privilege. That means That should not allow
Yeah, I'm
because
just
You
giving a try. Like, so, can we remove that local host somewhere in the above? Revoke select on DB2 from user one.
This
Will it
one, right?
allow? Will it allow?
I don't think, man. Let's test it.
Mhm.
You want to do something like this, right?
Yeah, 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 right. Okay.
no, it will be not consider user one as a user. User one plus add and plus host.
Okay.
Then it will be try to be revoke the permission from the any tables and for a particular user. Here we can revoke only the grant permission from the roles, not only the user, because we grant the role permission to the a particular user. So whenever we need requirement to be revoke the permission of any user, first we revoke the grants from the role permission. Then user can be easily then user can be revoked from such grants. Suppose, Sri, could you create a role for insert, update, and delete, and try to be revoke the grant delete from the role, and user will be also not access the delete permission from here. As per my knowledge,
Hmm.
we have doing the such things because the role
no,
we define the role here, not the
no.
permission.
Sai's question was like first he has given command role to both user and then he want to segregate, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
That is not possible. That is not that not
Suppose
make sense, right? Because first giving full command access to both user and then he wants to limit some user.
Exactly.
That is not right approach, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so once you provided the role permission to the user, whatever you revoke, that is something you can do on the role itself.
Separate the roles you have to
Maybe you can
create for
provide
that.
additional privilege, but as you assign the role to that particular user, whatever privilege the role has, it should be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yes, yes.
having multiple roles is recommended, right? In a
Yeah,
DB
that
wise.
is better.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I will also check is there any way. We
Yeah.
can discuss
Just
tomorrow.
want to understand whether with a single role is it possible to manage.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
sure. So usually, the major purpose of the role is to uh, maintain the access, right? Maintain the access for the group. Let's
Set
say,
of set of permission, right? Collection of permission.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
So let's say if you have some 100 developers in your organization, you can just assign the role to all the user instead of manually doing for all the users. So in case if you want to add privilege or revoke privilege, you can add a revoke on the role itself. It will automatically apply all the 100 users in developer side. Similarly for sysadmin, you may set off users. Some admin peoples, there may be you can manage the different role, something like that. So this is quite different requirement. So anyhow, you are okay. So user one and user two should not. Not sure, man. No. So far, no. If you ask me, no, it is not possible. But I will see if there is any workaround.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, as per your requirement, you have need a one role for the both condition. I mean, uh,
Yeah, that's what we want to try. Like something, is it possible to manage with one role, which is a single read-only role, only having select privilege, right? So yeah, just want to give a try. Yeah.
Hmm. Cool. Let's
with
see.
the one role itself. And but this is the very good question.
Yeah.
Good.
Good question, but here it will create the confusion because it should be there. Something should overlap to next one, right? If you are providing first roles to that user, later you want to revoke individual grants, that should not be.
Hmm. That makes sense. Then why the what is the purpose of role?
Yeah, that is then
Yes.
in like roles, if you are assigning 10 privilege previously, later you want to revoke 5 privilege, that should not be right. Later, if a new DBA check that grants in that user, he will see like that role is already assigned, but why it is not getting the means those privileges is not effective. That
Yes,
should not be. So always that role should overlap to individual privileges.
right.
Yeah, somewhere I find it in Google only, so I thought it's work somewhere. Yeah. Anyhow, let's see.
Let's see, man. Is there any workaround? We'll discuss this tomorrow.
Yeah,
Sure.
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 Yes.
Cool. I think if there is nothing, we can wrap up. We will have a session tomorrow. Okay. Uh,
Hi, Sri.
yeah, Vishnath.
Uh, just wanted to check as December is over. I just wanted to check the timings because I need to go 3 days to office.
Okay.
Is there any plans for weekends like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Thursday, Friday, we will have.
Hmm.
Saturday, Sunday, let's take some time and 3 weeks post that we will. So what I'm planning is see this kind of cluster technologies, right? Galera, DB cluster, this proxy SQL. So this kind of topics I am planning to take it on a single day. Let's say if everyone agree, then we can plan one Saturday morning 1.5 hours or 2 hours. Then we can take some break. Then evening or sometime. So if everyone agree, we can take because continuously 3 to 4 hours is it will not work for anyone, right? So this is something I'm planning. At the end when we comes to this cluster things, cluster load balancer, all these things. I'm planning to take on the Saturday, Sunday. So currently I do not have any plan man on Saturday, Sunday. But this Thursday, Friday, we definitely we do.
Okay, well, like it is like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? As per.
So this week I am planning today, tomorrow, Wednesday we may take break. Then Thursday, Friday, weekly this 4 days I am planning.
Okay.
Okay. But what's your office timing?
No, mine is like 8:30 to 5:30. So I need to start at 6:30 only. That is the thing.
You are in India, right?
Yeah, India,
Indian office,
Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay. Um. Okay. You can go a little bit late, right? Office.
No, I'm using office cab. That's what.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
no
see,
problem.
man. I'm not
If
sure.
anything works, it's okay, or else I have to manage it.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Thank you all.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.